Leading up to the fall of Saigon, for most of the month of April in 1975, the U.S. government airlifted nearly 2,600 Vietnamese children to the United States for adoption. The series of 32 flights were part of Operation Babylift, which was not without controversy. And Makovec reports.
At San Francisco's Crissy Field, an old building sits largely unnoticed. But 50 years ago, here inside Harmon Hall, an event unfolded that changed the lives of thousands, including the lives of 3 little girls. Laura.
We all survived a lot of trauma.
Wendy.
I find that I think about it less and less.
And Tricia.
The fall of Saigon was happening, and they just said, we got to get everybody out.
In April 1975, the 3 arrived at Harmon Hall along with hundreds of other Vietnamese children, all with adoption papers, thanks to a series of historic flights called Operation Babylift. President Gerald Ford, who authorized the effort, arrived at SFO to take a baby off the plane. Laura, now a musician, was adopted by a military officer and his wife.
All right.
Tricia, a teacher, found a new home with the family in Orange County.
Try every time.
And Wendy, an accomplished photographer, was embraced by a shipbuilder and his wife.
We'd heard about the children that needed homes and that we were just so concerned about what was happening over there.
You're back on live television again.
But the Babylift was not without controversy. At Harmon Hall, as the children were processed, some volunteers spoke Vietnamese with them.
They discovered that a significant number of them had families and that they were not orphans.
East Bay attorney Tom Miller immediately filed a class action lawsuit to determine who was eligible for adoption. He says some parents put their kids on planes to save them, hoping to join them later in the U.S.
All of this would have been preventable if the U.S. government had operated responsibly right from the very beginning.
A judge denied the lawsuit and sealed the records. Years later, international family law expert Ron Koltz did a deeper dive.
I discovered widespread misconduct.
Koltz researched federal, state, and court records involving the Babylift. She found nearly half of the children arrived with forged or fake identities.
I feel a grave sadness.
Today, many of the adoptees have turned to DNA tests to uncover their past. Tricia's results had a match. Her biological father had also taken a test.
He was searching for 35 years.
Laura's parents remain unknown.
Initially, I was hoping that one day my parents would see me singing on TV and they would come find me. And we'd live happily ever after.
As for Wendy, she had no desire to find any biological relative.
To me, that's not important at all.
All 3 love their adoptive parents. Wendy is busy with photography. Tricia adopted a daughter.
I had a great life with my family, my adopted family, and I survived.
But some of the adoptees suffered abuse after arriving in the U.S., including Laura. She now uses her music to help foster and adopted children who have suffered trauma.
It's my superpower. And if I can make change with music, with other young adoptees or foster kids or survivors, I would like that.
The end of the war was just the beginning for 3 very different women whose stories are still being written.
The Norbergs tell us that they were not able to formally adopt Wendy because of those lawsuits that were filed, but they say that all of her paperwork was, in fact, in order.